Hey guys, Kevin here, and in this video I just want to give you another combo that you can maybe practice and use for your self-defense. I learned it when I was studying Tracy Kempo a while back. Don't know what the name is. I'm sure there's some kind of fancy Kempo name for it. It is an effective technique that you can maybe try to employ in your self-defense training. So this technique is off of a straight punch. So if Bob is throwing a straight punch, I'm standing in front of him here in a non-assuming stance. This is where we normally start from because we're trying to de-escalate the situation. We don't want to look like the aggressor. So we're standing here. Now, Bob decides he's going to launch a straight punch to my head. Okay, I'm going to step to 10 o'clock and parry. Just like in the other one. We're just parrying, knocking it off course. All right, so start with that. Start standing here, stepping to 10 o'clock and parry. 10 o'clock and parry. Okay, once you've got that, next we're going to parry, and with this hand, we're going to come downward into the crook of the elbow. We're going to come downward, and as we come downward, we're going to strike the bicep. Now, you would think we're striking the bicep with the knife hand, but we're not. We're using this bone in the wrist, and we are digging it, snapping the wrist, digging it into the bicep, and raking down into the bend of the elbow. The head's gonna come forward. Okay, so from here, I'm parrying, and as I parry, I'm coming down with the bend into the bicep, straight down into the bend of the elbow. When I come down into that bend in the elbow, I'm doing so full force. And even Bob, being rigid, his head moves this way toward me. He comes this way. That's what we want. So we're going from here, parry, down into the elbow. Make sure you're stepping to 10 o'clock, because if you don't step out of the way of the strike, you may just parry that strike straight into your face. So be careful and make sure you're moving out of the way as you're parrying. Okay, don't stand still. So from here, once you come down here, you're going to be hitting that bicep, digging into here. Now from here, you've got a couple of options. You can come from here, and as his head comes forward, you can strike the side of the neck, hook behind the head, and knee, pulling them forward into a knee. You could come from here, strike, and then come back here into a lock, and then pivot, taking them down, locking it up here in like a figure four type lock, and control them here. You can come here, strike, and go into an Aikido throw, pivoting around, bringing him around, and then pivoting back into a wrist lock. You've got many other options. So try that, work it. You're doing it in 2 steps to start, but eventually you're just gonna get it down into one move where you're standing here, parrying and coming down at the same time. And as always, make sure you do both sides. Here, parrying, coming down on both sides. 10 o'clock to your left, 2 o'clock to your right. Standing, stepping to 2, coming down, and going into a lock, or whatever your follow-up is. But go ahead and give that a try. And when you're putting together combos, use your imagination. That's the only thing you're limited by. But make sure that your movements make sense, because the human body moves in a very predictable manner when struck. That's another tip that I learned in Kempo that I've never forgotten, and it's true. How often have you seen somebody get hit in the groin and fly backwards this way? It doesn't happen. If you get hit in the groin, somebody's gonna come forward. You get hit in the gut, their body's automatically gonna come forward, okay? You're not gonna punch somebody in the gut and their body's gonna naturally react by going like this. The body moves in a very predictable manner. So when you're putting your techniques together, you know, and I bend and I strike maybe the gut, and then my next movement is here, this doesn't make sense because as soon as I come here, his head's gonna come forward, most likely downward. And if I go straight from here, his head's not gonna be here anymore, okay? So it would have to be here and a hammer fist across, or here and an elbow, all right? You have to go ahead and think when you're putting together your techniques, your combos, stuff like that. So go ahead and give that a try. If you enjoy this video and the content you find here, be sure to give this video a thumbs up so that it gets around and other people get to see it. Also, be sure to subscribe, hit the notification button, and as always, until next video, train hard, stay focused, stay safe, and never ever quit. God bless, and we'll see you in the next video.